And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to be reviewing upgrades for games. Now, if you watch my channel at all, you know I love upgrading my games, and a lot of stuff I get from Etsy. Today I'm going to be taking a look at something from Evil Toymaker. We're taking a look at two things that they do. One is for War of the Ring. We'll take a look at that first, and then the other is terrain that you can get for Gloomhaven. I can easily summarize my reviews of both of these very quickly. They are amazing and they are expensive. Whether that's up to you, whether they're worth it is up to you, but I promise you that if you get these for your games, you have the best copy of that game in existence. These are the best terrain for War of the Ring and the best terrain for Gloomhaven that there is out there. You're definitely paying for this quality, but they are 100%. If you love these games, it's worth it. If you don't love them, then you need to seriously consider whether this is like buying a game table. But when you get these, your game is going to be amazing. So, you don't believe me? I'm going to show you War of the Ring and then Gloomhaven. Here we go. So there are two different sets for War of the Ring. First, and this is the normal board for War of the Ring. This is not the giant board, the enhanced board. This is the normal board that I have here. There are two sets. There's the mountains and then there's the strongholds. Now, honestly, the mountains is the one I would get because if I was just getting one. Because these mountains here, and this is all resin, so this is fragile. You have to be careful, not to drop it. But you can't move through mountains. Putting these here really, they fit right on the board, really brings that home. You can't get through. But look at these mountains. As you look at this, you'll see, it's just absolutely, it's hand painted with the flocking on it. These are fantastic. So there's a mountain piece here, all around the spot. There's even a mountain piece that goes around the lake, even though that's completely unnecessary because I don't think you're ever going to be doing much fighting over there. I'm sure some legendary War of the Rings player will come in and tell me, no, it's a major battlefield. So the mountains, that's what I would get. That being said, the strongholds, oh man. This is Minas Tirith. Again, look at the quality of this. Look at the rocks and the painting. This is top tier stuff. Here's Mount Doom with the steps on it. This is the one that I would always play with. This stuff now, I will say it does take space on the board too. So if you have a lot of troops on the board, although you can put those troops over here on the side spots. So having these locations, it's also easy to remember what's where. Hey, here's the Shire. Look at the Shire. This is amazing stuff. This is, like I said, this is some of the best stuff I've ever seen. Up the woodland realm. Look at these trees. Gorgeous painting. Things like that. And again, this is not a shill thing. I'm going to tell you folks right now, you're going to pay for this stuff. You can go online and look at it. It's pricey. But if you love War of the Ring, and I know a lot of people do like War of the Ring, it's one of their favorite games. And if that is the case, then you should consider this. I don't have, for example, the War of the Ring Deluxe Edition that costs hundreds of dollars. But you know what? I have a better copy because I have this, and this just looks better. Oh man, I can almost see Saruman, peeking out here, getting ready to be thrown down. And of course, this is a city that's not even used that much in the course of the game. But look at that, the water here, the little ship. So this is just gorgeous stuff. Oh, I like this one a lot. This is the big gate here that's going to open and pour out all the troops. So that's over here. Man, there's so many cool little pieces. Let's take a look at another one of the mountain pieces. They even have, I even got these giant statues here that are next to the river. These things are awesome. I'd use them for markers or something like that. So overall, just fantastic. If you like War of the Ring, you're going to love this. But again, you're also going to pay for it. Speak, friend, and enter. So there you go. That's Lord of the Rings. If I was going to get one set, this is a set I would get because this is a game I play, even though I like Gloomhaven more. But the Gloomhaven terrain is just as good. Let's take a look. All right, this is phenomenal. So I brought out a little bit of the Gloomhaven board so you can see it placed on this. And you can use this stuff when it's not in Gloomhaven. I mean, you could use this with any game that has hexes, or even if it doesn't have hexes. So I'll start with the biggest things here. We have the trees. So these are big trees. Now, I mean, these are probably the one thing where I could go, well, I could probably find model railroad trees. I mean, these have hexes. These are really great trees, though. They're very nice. I actually really like the walls here. Now, one thing about this set that's really cool is that each wall, so these are the exact same wall, right? But they're not the exact same. Each of these walls is a different mold. So, well, this one actually bends the other direction. So I have another one that bends this same direction. No, I got, there we go. And look at the bricks on each of them. Each one is done differently. Again, hand painted. These are fantastic. And I'm kind of going downhill here because, I mean, not downhill, uphill. Some of the stuff I want to show you later on is really cool. Look at the pillars. They have this weathered look to them. And again, these are very imposing. I know where there's a pillar now when I'm moving through here. But I'm going to jump in. Again, this stuff to me is just fantastic. We got tree stumps here. Again, each one has a slightly different flair to it, but it's also obvious that they're tree stumps. We got rocks and boulders. Yes, I want to throw these things, and you can throw them, not literally, but in game. These look great. Again, everything here is resin, so I'm being very cautious as I move these around here. I mean, it's not like they're super fragile, but they're fragile enough. Here's one of my favorites, the logs. So you look at these logs. Again, they just have a really good look to them, and each one has some distinct to it. This is maybe the weakest stuff of the set. Some of this flora and fauna. This is okay. Looks a little alien, actually, but I don't hate them. That might be the weakest thing. But look, here's one of the best things of this set. Look at this little altar here. That's nasty, the blood and everything. But wow, also it's kind of cool. This is a very good centerpiece. You're not going to wonder where the altar is. Here we have barrels. Really nice barrels. Maybe my only thing about the barrels is I wonder if they need at the base. I mean, it does keep them from tipping over and everything. But still, they look really cool. And then we have some other neat things here. We got this desk here. A couple desks. Look at these books. The page is coming up. It's actually paper. And then now I'm going to show you the best things in this set, which are the bookcases. These are paper. Someone bound each of these little books here. These are crazy cool. I'm going to use these in all kinds of games. I mean, like, for example, Hero Quest has bookcases in it. That's what this does. That's really neat. And it doesn't stop on the bookshelves. Then you got these piles of books here on these desks. These are unbelievably cool. I'm really impressed with these. I can't even imagine doing this sort of thing and how they put together. Look at that. There's a map that's coming over the edge here. When you play with this, your campaign is going to definitely be upped. I mean, and here's a couple tables and another bookshelf. The tables have piles of stuff on them. Pretty impressive stuff for me. Let's go to some less impressive stuff. Not that they're bad, but I mean, compared to the bookcases, these are just stalagmites. Here we have a well with things inside it. I wonder if some of this stuff could be used with the new Descent 3rd edition. Probably could be. Here we have a bookcase, some treasure. Look at that gold all over the place. And then, of course, you already saw the treasure chest, one of them, but here's a couple more treasure chests of various shapes and sizes. Here's a couple stone altars. Not as nasty as the bloody one, but they work really well. We got some 3-size rocks here. And some more pillars that I might not have shown you earlier. Oh, and these alien-looking rocks. So that's pretty much all the stuff here. There's a lot going on in this set. A lot of different pieces to look at. It looks great. You're going to have to find a way to store it, of course. But when you put these things out on the board, it's really going to make a splash. And like I said, I think you can use it for other dungeon crawls too. So if this stuff looks good to you, you're going to want to go to eviltoymaker.com and you can shop there. Again, after showing this to you, I am thrilled to have this part of my collection. But you say, Tom, you know, you got this sent to you, would you buy it? That's a tougher question, right? If I was playing through the whole Gloomhaven campaign with a group of friends, I played most of it through solo, but if I was playing through with a group of friends, I think I would shell out the money for the Gloomhaven stuff. I really do. As someone who plays it mostly solo, I don't know that I would get this stuff. I mean, I have it, so I'm going to use it now. But I mean, it's pretty neat though. And if you're playing with friends, this really brings the immersion. The fact that I could probably stick a lot of it into other dungeon crawlers works in its favor. For War of the Ring, I can say yes to the mountains for sure. I was already hovering over the buy button before they sent these to me because I like these mountains. I think that the mountains in War of the Ring, just visually, that really helps, especially with the miniatures. The strongholds are better even than the mountains. It's just I don't know that they're as useful to me. Oh, the Mountain Doom one, I like that because it is useful. But man, it does look pretty on the board. So at the end of the day, this is your call, right? Some of you are, if you love either one of these games, you're going to want to get this whole thing. It's just amazing. But if you're kind of a casual player of each of these games, then yeah, this is going to be out of your range. But I will say this. This is, at this moment of me recording it, the best. I don't even know if I could be like, well, there's a close second, because I've gotten a lot of Gloomhaven terrain over the years. Most of it's been 3D printed. This stuff blows that out of the water. And War of the Ring, I got a lot of cool upgrades. My box of War of the Ring is jam full because I have different kinds of upgrades for the game. But these are phenomenal. So they're pricey, but you do get what you pay for. So at the end of the day, it's are you willing to get them or not? Up to you. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel. You've been watching the Dice Tower. See you next time.